What's going on, guys? Caesar Media here today. I am going to be replacing the front rotors on my Evo. I have replaced the brake pads before the track day and I had a great time at the track, but I felt that when I was pressing the brake pedal really hard, the car was vibrating and I felt the vibration coming through the steering wheel, and it was so bad that I actually couldn't brake at full force at the track. And I knew right there and then that it was my rotors that was basically warped. So I went out and got these rotors. These are the eccentric rotors, part number 125-46064, in case you're curious. Now, common myth for all aftermarket cars out there is that it's slotted or drilled rotors better than blank rotors like the ones I have here. As you can see, I already have a slotted rotor on the car, and I'm obviously going to the blank ones. So let me just tell you that if you are driving a car on the streets for everyday use, it doesn't really matter performance wise if it's slotted or drilled or blank. You're not gonna get the car, you're not gonna be driving the car hard enough to notice the difference, and there honestly won't be any difference between the three different versions. Even on my car, which is like 90% street use and 10% track use, I have the slotted rotors here, but I don't even need that. I'm not gonna really notice a difference of the rotor temperature, and I won't be riding this around gravel and dirt and mud, so I won't have any kind of debris between the rotor and brake pads for those slots to be functional. So if you're going with blank, first of all, it's cheaper, and secondly, you're gonna get more braking area, braking surface, because honestly, when you put slots and drills on the brake rotors, you are losing the braking surface area. So honestly, if you are buying a car for street use and some track use, it's really not gonna matter if you slotted, drilled, or blanks. And that's why I went with blanks, because it's the most cost effective, and the looks of these don't really matter to me as it does to some of those car show guys, because I bought my car to drive it, and that's what it's built for. And I would rather spend my money on some parts that's actually gonna give me performance increase than on slotted or drilled rotors that I won't even see anyway. So that's the reason why I went with blank rotors. And another thing that a lot of you were asking me is that my Project Mu brake pads were super loud. Now, when I was installing the Project Mu brake pads, all of you knew, and I told you guys that it's gonna be loud, but that's just because it's a trackpad. But I didn't realize, I didn't expect it to be that loud at the track. So what I did was bought these gyro disc brake pad backup plates. Now, if you saw my Project Mu brake pad installation video, the kit didn't come with the backup plate because race car and noise doesn't really bother people at the track. But again, like I said, my Evo is not 100% dedicated track car, so I wanted the pads to be a little more quiet than it was on the track. So I bought these aftermarket brackets that goes behind the brake pads to quiet down the pads. Now this is from Gyrodisc, and on Gyrodisc's website it tells you that it's not intended to be used for racing pads, which is exactly what I have and exactly what I'm gonna be doing. So the results might not be as effective as it is on the regular pads, but I'm sure it's better than no pads. I also pick up these brake lubricant that's supposed to go between the brake pad and the brake backer bracket, like the one you see here. So put some of this grease here, put the brake pad on the back, and then mount it in the car. So that's what I'm going to be doing today: rotor installation, brake pad reinstallation, and lubrication installation. So first thing you want to do is jack up your beautiful Evo. After you remove your wheels, next step is to remove your caliper, and I have a spacer here. I think it's 20 millimeters. It just slides right out. to remove the caliper, you have one bolt up top and another bolt on the bottom. Let me see if I can get my camera in there. Oh, let's see. Can you see this? There's one bolt up top right here and another bolt on the bottom. You'll see it once you go behind the caliper. It's really simple. One bolt up top, another bolt on the bottom going this way. So take these out real quick and the caliper will slide right out. Now after the caliper slides out, make sure you have the caliper supported on like a extra jack or jack stand, so that all the weight of the caliper is not hanging off on the brake line, which is this right here. In my case, it's a stainless steel brake line. It's red, it's pretty, and I don't want to damage this. Alright, these are the two bolts that comes out from behind the caliper. Let me see. So this is a caliper that came off, right? And in the back here, there's one hole there, and this bolt would just come right in like that. And there's another one up top that holds the top portion of the caliper. Mitsubishi really designed these things, so it's super easy to work on. Same with the brake pads. You know, it only takes 2 pins and about 5 minutes to take the brake pad out of these things. Next up, rotor. Here it is. It just comes out like that. If it's tight, you can knock it with hammer from behind, but in my case, as you just saw, it slides right out. I'm just gonna set this aside here. You can see that there's cooling in the side here. That's why I was saying earlier too that slotted and drilled doesn't really do much when it comes to cooling. Well, I just realized my camera died while installing the caliper, but all of you should know that's super easy. Just bring that in, put the 2 bolts back in from the behind, and you are good to go. Next thing I'm going to be working on is the brake pads. I'm going to be removing the pads again, just so that I can put the brake pad backup plates so that these brake pads don't squeak as much as it does on track days and street driving. So you have all seen me do pads before. Just knock out these 2 pins, one up top, one at the bottom. One pin here, backup plate here, another pin here, and your brake pads will slide right out. Just like that. Ta-da! Project new pads with 1 day of tracking. So next up is the Ceramic Extreme brake lubricants. I'm just gonna open this up and put it on my brake pads on the back so that the noise will go away. I'm just gonna put this on here and I put this on here.